Okay, this is Mark Farrar with Not Square Design, back for another recording. Um, Back to the Osberg project, working on the section and gonna do some stairs today. And we're actually gonna go ahead and start with the code. All this work is compatible with AutoCAD LT because I am using it just in the 2D realm. And so, oh, if you need, there's my contact information. Um, Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. So, what I've done is I went into my international residential code, and we're on 2021 here. And so I just typed in the word rise because I'm pretty familiar with the code. So I just looked for terms, and I have found that searching with one word is the best way to find things in this code book. So vertical rise is going to be the entire rise of a flight of stairs, but it's going to get me right in the area. So I'm going to click on this one. And these books are, they're free. You just can't search in the free version. So there's that vertical rise. So one thing about this is that we can't have more than 12 foot 7 inches between floor levels or landings. And so we have an 8-foot floor and about a foot of floor. So we're somewhere in the 9-foot range. So we're safe. If it was close at all, we'd either need a landing, some sort of a turn with a landing, or you can actually come down, land, and come down more if you want to keep it straight. When you do that turn 90 degrees or a U shape, that's called a winder tread down here. Some people get that confused a little bit with spiral. So what we're after, though, is we want this number right here. The riser height shall not be more than 7 3/4 of an inch. Another part to go in your notes is that no stair, well, let's just read it the way they put it. The greatest riser height within any flight of stairs shall not exceed the smallest by more than 3/8 of an inch. So that is within a flight. If there's a landing, you can change sizes. So, but you got to keep it within 3/8 of an inch of each other, the total rise, which is the height that you're stepping up. The treads, the tread depth shall not be less than 10 inches. And it's 254 millimeters for those of you who are not stuck here where we have our strange problem with not switching over to the metric system. We tried back in the 90s, but it didn't take. Again, it's the 3/8 inch variation during the flight from one to another. And that's kind of the really important things. There's one other thing that's pretty important. Well, there's a couple of things. There's headroom is the one that I really look in section and make sure I got it right. And the headroom in the stairway should not be less than 6'8" measured vertically from the sloped line adjoining the tread nosing or from the floor surface of the landing platform on that portion of the stairway. So we'll do this and we'll show it for you. And then the width can't be less than 36 inches. Now the handrails can invade on that width. So clear with the stairways at and below handrail height, including treads landings, shall not be less than 31 1/2 inches, where a handrail is installed on one side and 27 inches where handrails are installed on both sides. So you can see it can invade that space quite a bit. So we're going to go on to our drawing here, and let's start showing how this works. So behind here, let's drag it this way. Got our drawing set up. And so making a little bit of an assumption here that they're going to be okay with this view out of here and not want to raise this up. And being that a lot of their components are pretty standard, I think I'm pretty safe there. So here is my actual stairs. And I do like to verify that I've got my alignment working correctly. So I'm in my junk layer. So I'll do XL vertical. And I'm not in the drawing. XL vertical. And then I'm just going to drop it on that first tread. Let's go ahead and drop one on the last tread. Zoom in a little bit just to make sure I hit them. Now let's go down below. And looks like I definitely hit that one. So I'm going to delete it. And then this one, that one looks like it there will come up just to make sure because there's two next to each other. And that's it. So delete. Okay, so now I've got it drawn about where I want it. Now, if we wanted to do interiorly, I'm not afraid of a 10-inch tread. Sometimes people do 11 and a quarter because that's a standard 2x12. But if you're going to do any sort of finish work, you're going to lose some of that. So I usually don't do that exactly. So let's just do our XL vertical. I should have just left that one there. There. Copy these guys from there. Now I've got all my nosings basically. Check my distance here. Let's make sure I've got at least 3 feet. At the bottom of a stair run and at the top, you've got to have a 3 foot by 3 foot minimum area. So now we'll come down to the bottom. And okay, so this is going to be our first step up. So it's step. So that's your first step up. And my absolute distance, let's just see what I have got drawn here. So this is 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches for the top and bottom chord of what is actually NEA there. And this is a parallel chord truss. Oops, that one I went too far. So it's just in between. It's just webbing in here. Of course, it'd be thick. Then above that, I've got my subfloor, which is 3/4 of an inch. And then I build my wall on top of that. And then I've got another 3/4 of an inch for a total of 1.5 inches to have any sort of finished floor, whether that be a carpet and pad or hardwood or tile and like some Schluter Ditra is a favorite product of mine. And you might be off by a little bit by only using a 3/4. In some cases, it might go to an inch or close to. And it depends really on what material you get, but it's a great number to just kind of work with. So, since I know that's my height to my finished floor, I'm going to draw a line from here down to this level, I believe here. And let's check it. So I've got a distance from here to here of 1 inch. And so this is inside, underneath here, I don't have a lot to worry about. This is more like just the garage slab. And do I want to step down into the slab? It used to be a rule, but that went away. Used to have a 4-inch lip here, and that was to keep automotive gases out of the home. But that is no longer the case, so it's not a concern, and we don't have to worry about that part anymore. So I guess it's a matter of confusion. Let's just get rid of this. Oh, that's in the extra. So can't grab it, so hopefully it'll keep us from getting confused. So we have this line now. So what I want to do is count here. So I'm going to go 1, riser out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I do believe that is way too many. So one way to take a look at that, I should do my little calculator. There we go. So between the floors, I'll move it out of the way for a sec. I want to come in here and I want to do a distance. And this line is not going to do me much unless I wanted to, say, raise my floor up 2 inches from outside. And for me, that makes a lot of sense, but I would prefer to drop the patio down than to raise the floor up. So let's come down here, say we have drawn. I have a distance from here to here, 1.5 inches. So it looks, yeah, this is off. So I'm going to get rid of this line. And just so I don't forget to do this, I'm going to come in here right now and just stretch this. That, and I don't need to stretch that. I'm going to just come down, and it, like it was 2. Oh, nope, it's not. I want it to be 1.5 inches when it's done. It's 2.5 now, so it's 1. Okay, so let's stretch that. Must hit the wrong key there. Come over, deselect that, and come down 1. All right, now that's kind of weird. It moved it. So I'm going to just extend to this line. Oh, here's the deal. This is an array. And so to fix an array, little extra on the lesson now. Come in here, I'll hit edit source. Now that I double clicked it, you can see which way I drew it. Because there's the square and then 2 arrows. There's the spacing arrow and there's the overall distance arrow. I'm going to hit edit source. I'm going to pick my source. An associated array, yes I do. And so I'm just going to tell it to extend to here. Doesn't want to. Sometimes when you're editing in arrays, they don't have all the power of just editing your lines. So sometimes you got to do some little tricks. You notice these ones went with it. So I hit save changes, and they're all fixed. Just do a quick check up top. It's good. Okay. Now we're starting at the slab. So my distance from floor here down, straight down to the slab itself is 9'2" 5/8". So 9 times 12. And then I've got my 2. So I can just do plus 2. And then I've got my 5/8, which is 675. So plus 0.675. So it's 110.675. Now, I'm going to just check that 5/8. So 5 divided by 8 equals 625. Okay, so it's plus 110. 110. So there's my number of inches from floor to floor. And now, if you remember, our max rise was 7.75 inches. So we're going to divide this by 7.75. And we have to round up our answer. So we're going to need 15 steps to make this happen. So I'll move this over for right now. And I can take this diagonal line. And now it just is a line from here to here. It doesn't matter if it's diagonal, if it's straight, whatever. Because I'm going to just divide it up. So I end up with a total of 15 segments. And if I wanted to come and look, where would I want that to happen? This hallway looks pretty good. Having a little extra room down here doesn't sound like a bad idea. So I had 18 and I need 15. So let's get rid of 3. Now let's check it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's my 15 risers. So this is my distance that I've got to make this happen in. And it looks like I erased my line to divide with. We'll just draw it right back in. So I'm going to go line, and I want to come from my top floor down to my slab. And then I'm going to divide that by 15, because 14 won't cut it, and 15 is a little too much. And that will give us less than 7.75, which is the max. So divide. And this can be a little tricky. Grab that div. And when I have it now, it wants to know how many numbers. So if I think about, I'm going up 1, but I'm going to end at the landing. And so I believe that it's actually truly 15. Enter. And here's how you figure that out. If I go D and I look for a snap point in here, there's one right there. Oh, let's grab it again. Line. Line. There. Just bring it over. And then I can extend it to here. Now let's check the distance. 7 3/8. That's going to be a great number for what we want to do. So what I do with this is I can get rid of the main line, and you will see there's a bunch. It's so hard to see, but there's a bunch of dots in there. So I can copy that, but I don't necessarily want to copy that line every time. So there's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. And now I can extend like this. Just go click, 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 click. And then I want to extend all the way to that one this time. Now I'm going to trim. And we're going to trim. Come on, trim. Those. And I want to trim these. Excuse me. So we'll get rid of those. And now I can get rid of those. And then I can just keep doing that. And get myself down to where I'm going to be happy with my result. So there's that and that. Now there's my stairs. And just like I did with the regular lines, I'll just take and copy them. And I'll copy it. Oh, I don't want all those. They will get in your way sometimes later. And so I'll just get rid of all of them. I missed. I'm doing very good tonight. All right, let's copy these from here to here. And then one more. Look at that. Even nailed it. So I'll just kill that one off because I don't really need it. And then I could trim all this out. This one's much easier because I don't have all those extra lines in the way. So I just grab that and then trim and trim. Oh, don't know why I did that, but it is what it is. Now I'm going to turn these white. They're not. They're kind of becoming what? Oop. Oh, my layer manager is going right. Switch it over to non-xrefs. And then we'll take it to our D object. And if you want your drawing set smaller, just go to drawing. This is what we're using for sections and elevations almost exclusively. So it gives you a tiny little set. Now, I want to think about it a little bit. I really like using like a 3/4 birch or something like that. And my nosing is going to be right at this line. So I'm going to offset 0.75 and put that there. Now I'm going to do this twice because I'm going to get rid of this line. And then I'm going to fillet this, do its own, and it moved out too far. So if I draw a line from here to there, let's say, and then I move this from that quadrant to where it hits, now it's in the perfect spot. And you just got to get this started. It's not like you got to do this on every tread. So now that that one's complete, it's like you need just the second one. And so this back point is that back point. So if I just copy that, copy it from here to here, give me what I need, and I can get rid of that. Now I want to figure out how do I want to build it. I usually like this piece to land on this one. I don't know that there's a whole lot of difference, but it seems to be less dust. So when the crack is down, then you get more dust in it. So I'm going to just chamfer. My distance is set to 0 to there, and then chamfer that to there. Now I've got this started. And so I need just that last bit right there. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to copy it. Oops. Not erase it. Copy. From this center point to this center point. And then this one's no good, and I can extend that. So now I've got stuff I can grab and keep copying up and up and up, because this is done. So what I want to do is I want to leave this behind, because that's my grab point. I'm going to go from there to there. Boom. It'll give me another one. And if you want, actually, maybe I should have left. Let's just turn these a different color so you can see this happen. So let's go to our junk. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go from, and I can pick, no, I want to pick this short side. There to there. And you'll see how it hit that red right at the corner. And so now I want, oh, pay attention, Mark. There. And then there. And I want my nosing. So let's copy this from here to here. And then we'll figure out how we're going to deal with that down the road. So let's get rid of these. And there's a fast way. Is just to come in here, go to your home tab, hit your isolate button, grab the red. Now those are there. And get rid of them. Then come to your unisolate. And we have stairs, kind of. We need a little piece more. So we're going to make these stringers out of 2x12s, which is 11 and a quarter. Those of you not familiar with nominal, it's the 2x4 is 3.5. 2x6 is 5.5. And then when you get to 2x8, you go 7 and a quarter, and it stays quarter on up. So what I do here is I'll take a line, and I'm just going to draw it from here, because that's going to be the top of my board. That's the furthest it can go up into here. And I'm going to drop it there. Now I'm going to offset this 11.25. And hopefully you'll see this. So that's a 2x12 sitting in there. But I have to cut these notches out of it to let the stairs sit on that. And then this essentially becomes all the strength that you have left. So if I take the distance from here perpendicular to here, we're looking at basically 5 5/16 of an inch. And that's why I want 3 stringers. I want one on, and that I like the ones attached to the wall, because these things will split. Our wood's not great these days. We don't have the old growth we used to have, so I'm going to trim that up. I'm going to match this. If I wanted to, I could move this up, make a board along the wall for decoration, but these, I don't think that is something that they will want. And so here, where's my tie-in going to be? Now, let's just say we use a 2x8 hanger. So I'm going to offset 8 inches, because they're not 8 inches tall. And that means it'll sit underneath this when I put, I'll have to cut a joist here, and you got to make a hole for the stair, and then run a member between the two spaces. And we'll see that more when we get up into the plan views and stuff. So I'm going to extend up to here for now. This is really inaccurate at this point in time. I'm just giving myself something to work with that kind of makes sense. Then I'll draw a line up. And then I'll get rid of that guy. And then I'll match my properties. And eventually I'd put in a hanger on that. And what you see going on through here would be cut. And we have to see, you can see right through here, our section is cut right on that board. It's dead center on our stair. So we see the actual board, and then we'll see the top floor. But down here, we're not going to see the floor anymore. So it's only right here at this top nose that we'll actually see this truss coming through. So we'll be stopping it back in this area, and then we'll probably have to figure it out a little bit. They will probably run in this direction, and so what I probably will do, let's see if we have a 2/3 backspan. 2/3 backspan is just a great rule of thumb. And so if I'm here, I'm at 710, so let's call it 8. In fact, we can come all the way out to here. So I'm like at 8.2. So I need to have 4.1. 8 and 4 is 12. And so I'm at 5.1. So I don't really have a full 2/3 backspan. So what I need to do is just when I put these on here is they have to be securely tied in here because it won't be the weight, their self-weight that holds them from flipping. And then we can go right underneath here and get some support too. So, and if we need to, as we get this designed out in the structure, we could move this whole thing down a little bit because we did get rid of some steps. Got rid of quite a few. And so with that in mind, then I've got some room to move so I could put a beam across here so it actually could come across and land on it. So that is a set of stairs. Pretty quick little version of how they're drawn, how to get those measurements, the divide command, and just the different minor elements to get a set of stairs in place. So that's it for now, and I'll see you next time. This is Mark from Not Square Design.